Hello and welcome to Outside Views, the channel where we explore the pivotal decisions that have shaped the United Kingdom's relationship with Europe and the wider world. And today we're looking at a fascinating and significant question. Why didn't the United Kingdom ever join the Schengen area? It's a topic that helps us understand not just the UK's decisions in the past, but also the mindset and priorities that ultimately led to Brexit. The Schengen area represents one of the most defining achievements of European integration, yet the UK, one of the most influential members of the European Union for decades, chose to remain outside it. What were the reasons, and how did this decision reflect broader concerns about sovereignty and control? And what does this history teach us about the UK's approach to Europe? Let's dive into the details. First, let's establish what the Schengen area is and why it matters. The Schengen Agreement was signed in 1985 by 5 countries, that was Belgium, France, Germany, Luxembourg and the Netherlands. Its purpose was to abolish internal border controls, allowing people to travel freely between member states without passports or visas. And this agreement created what we now recognize as a borderless Europe. Over time, Schengen expanded to include most EU member states, along with several non-EU countries like Norway, Switzerland and Iceland. And today, the Schengen area is one of the most visible symbols of European unity, allowing over 400 million people to move freely across borders. But the United Kingdom chose not to join. From the outset, the UK was skeptical of the Schengen Agreement, and when it became part of EU law through the Amsterdam Treaty in 1999, the UK negotiated an official opt-out. And this decision set the UK apart from its European neighbours and has had long-lasting implications. To understand why the UK made this choice, we need to consider a mix of geographical, political and cultural factors. And the most obvious reason often cited is geography. The United Kingdom is an island nation separated from mainland Europe by the English Channel. And this physical barrier has historically given the UK a sense of security and self-reliance that many continental countries do not share. For centuries, the Channel was seen as Britain's natural defense against invasions, and it also reinforced a cultural sense of separateness from the rest of Europe. Unlike countries like France or Germany, which share land borders with multiple neighbors, the UK has always viewed its borders as a critical line of defense. And this geography made the idea of open borders feel unnecessary, even risky to many British policymakers. But geography is only one part of the story. The UK's decision to stay out of Schengen was also deeply rooted in concerns about sovereignty and immigration control. One of the core principles of the Schengen Agreement is that member states abolish internal border checks while adopting common external border policies. And this means that once someone enters the Schengen area, they can travel freely across all member states. For the UK, this was a problem. British governments feared that joining Schengen would limit their ability to control who entered the country. And this concern was particularly acute in the context of immigration. By the 1990s, migration pressures were increasing across Europe, and many British politicians worried that open borders would lead to an influx of migrants, particularly from outside the EU. And immigration has long been a politically charged issue in the UK, and the idea of giving up control over who could enter the country was deeply unpopular. Even as other EU member states embraced the benefits of free movement, the UK remained wary. And this wariness was not limited to Schengen. It also extended to other aspects of European integration, most notably the adoption of the euro. And another key factor in the UK's decision was its historical relationship with Ireland. Since 1923, the UK and Ireland have operated a common travel area, allowing free movement between these two countries. And this arrangement predates the European Union and was seen as vital to maintaining peace and cooperation, particularly in the context of Northern Ireland. Joining Schengen would have required the UK and Ireland to impose border controls on each other or adopt a joint Schengen opt-in. Neither country was willing to take that step, and both negotiated opt-outs from Schengen to preserve the common travel area. And this decision was seen as a pragmatic way to maintain the unique relationship between the UK and Ireland while avoiding the complexities of Schengen membership. The UK's decision to opt out of Schengen was also shaped by its broader approach to European integration. From the moment it joined the European Economic Community in 1973, the UK was often described as an awkward partner. It sought to benefit from the economic advantages of membership while resisting deeper political integration. And this ambivalence was evident in its approach to Schengen, where the perceived loss of sovereignty outweighed the potential benefits of easier cross-border travel. And this tension between economic pragmatism and political skepticism defined the UK's relationship with the EU for decades. The UK wanted to trade with Europe, but not be governed by it. It wanted access to European markets, but not the obligations that came with deeper integration. Anybody want a cherry? And this mindset was central to the UK's decision to stay out of Schengen and ultimately laid the groundwork for Brexit. Fast forward to today, and the UK's decision not to join Schengen feels like an early indicator of the tensions that eventually led to its departure from the European Union. By staying out of Schengen, the UK retained control over its borders, but it's also reinforced its image as a semi-detached member of the European project. And this perception played a significant role in the Brexit debate, where issues of sovereignty, immigration, and control over borders were central themes. Brexit has fundamentally changed the UK's relationship with Europe, including its relationship with the Schengen area. As a non-EU country, the UK is now treated as a third country for the purposes of Schengen rules. British citizens can travel to the Schengen area visa-free for short stays of up to 90 days within a 180-day period. However, longer stays now require visas and additional paperwork, creating new barriers for Britons who live, work, or travel frequently in Europe. Ironically, the UK's decision to stay out of Schengen was initially framed as a way to maintain control and avoid the risks associated with open borders. Yet, in the years since Brexit, the UK has faced significant challenges in managing its borders, from increased bureaucracy for travellers and businesses to ongoing debates about immigration and asylum policies. Reflecting on the UK's decision not to join Schengen, it's clear that this choice was about more than geography or security. It was a reflection of a broader mindset, one that prioritized sovereignty and control over deeper integration with Europe. And this mindset ultimately paved the way for Brexit, shaping not just the UK's relationship with the EU, but also its national identity. So thank you for watching Outside Views again, and if you found this discussion insightful, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And let's continue the conversation in the comments below this video. What do you think about the UK's decision at the time not to join Schengen? Was it a wise choice, or did it set the stage for the divisions that eventually led to Brexit? Until next time, stay informed and stay engaged, and let's continue to question the decisions shaping our world. Take care, and the next video is right here in the end screen.